some slow moving yoga for back pain or discomfort with you tonight or this morning whenever you're watching the video. This class is for yogis of all levels. It's going to be a gentle, slow moving class, a lot slower paced than a typical vinyasa class. We'll be holding postures for a number of breaths, anywhere from 5 to 10 breaths. And in terms of props, all you really need is a mat or a rug. If that's all you have, that's fine. But if you'd like to use a large pillow for some more restorative postures, then that's totally fine. That's what I'm going to be using because it's nighttime for me. I'm winding down. If you are just starting your day, maybe nix the pillow and instead maybe go deeper on these postures to wake yourself up and give you some energy. So go ahead and get into a comfortable seated position. Maybe cross the ankles and the knees. You can place the palms on the knees if that feels good for you. And maybe blink the eyes closed. Just start to arrive, becoming more aware of your breathing, focusing your attention inwards. Taking a nice deep inhale through the nose and sighing it out through the mouth. Again, inhaling through the nose and sighing it out through the mouth. Becoming more aware of the sounds around you. Letting go of any thoughts of the day that you had or any plans for the day to come. Just let it all go and focus your attention on your breathing. If any thoughts come into your mind throughout these postures, since we will be taking them for a number of breaths, observe the thought, let it pass, and train your mind to come back on your breathing. If you're winding down for the night, play with lengthening your exhales. So making your out breaths longer than your in breaths. If you are preparing for the day ahead or it's midday, then go ahead and lengthen the inhales longer than the exhales. Depending on which version you choose of breath, you will be activating either your parasympathetic or sympathetic nervous systems. If you lengthen the exhale, you are activating your parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest nervous system that calms the mind and the body and prepares you for sleep. If you lengthen the inhales, you are activating the fight or flight nervous system, getting yourself a bit more energized and ready for the day ahead. Go ahead and blink those eyes open. Inhale and get taller through the spine. And exhale it out the mouth. On your next inhale, straighten the arms up overhead while grounding down through the sits bones. Exhale as you turn to the right. The right fingertips find the floor behind you, and the left hand finds the right knee, twisting a little bit deeper, and then eventually looking over your right shoulder. We're going to be here for 5 deep breaths. On your next inhale, bring those arms back up to center and exhale here. Inhale, get a bit taller. Exhale, twist to the left. The left fingertips find the ground behind you, and the right palm meets the left knee. Twist a little bit deeper if it's available for you. Never push yourself into a place of pain. And look over your left shoulder. 5 breaths here. Remembering to either lengthen the exhales if you're moving into a more relaxed state, or lengthen the inhales if you're moving into a more energized state. An example of this would be if you inhale for 4 counts, like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the inhale, and then exhaling for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest. Inhale back to center. And exhale, palms down to the knees. We're going to do a couple rounds of seated cat-cow. So inhale, the chest opens and comes forward, the back is arched. Exhale, round. You can grasp onto those knees and make your back into a rounded U shape. Inhale, chest opens. Exhale, round the back. Make sure you're going with the breath here. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, chest opens. Exhale, back rounds. One more. Inhale to open the chest. Cow pose in a seated position. Exhale into a seated cat. On your next inhale, come to a seated neutral position. So if you're going for the more restorative version of the poses, go ahead and grab that large pillow. Bring it up underneath your underarm. You're still seated in a cross-legged position. Underneath your left underarm, I should say, if I didn't clarify. Walk those fingertips out to the left side. Put a little bit of a bend in that left elbow. Make sure both sits bones are still firmly on the ground, so don't go too far over to the left, that your right sit bones start to lift. And here we're going to inhale that right arm up and overhead. You might be able to feel this stretch in your low right back, and that's why this is so nice. We're going to be here for 5 more breaths. Maybe blink the eyes closed, and again, choose which variation of breathing you'd like to do. On the next inhale, guide that right arm down and straighten the spine. If you're using a pillow, go ahead and move it to the opposite side. You definitely don't need one. I'm just choosing the more restorative version. Walk those fingertips out to the right. Put a little bend in that right arm. Make sure the left sit bone is not rising up off the ground. And inhale that left arm overhead, feeling that nice juicy stretch in the low left back. Again, we're going to come into 5 deep rounds of breath here. And you want to make sure that you become more cognizant of what emotions come up for you in these slower yoga practices. I know when I first started in this slow moving yoga, I would almost get frustrated when I'd be in a pose for 5 breaths, and it really took a while for my brain to get used to it. And if you're feeling the same way, no, that's totally normal. Let's do 2 more rounds of breath here, deep and slow. On the next inhale, that left arm comes down by your side, spine straightens. If you're going for more restorative, bring that pillow in front of you. So it's over your knees and against your abdomen. Inhale the arms up straight. And exhale, even if you're not using a pillow, bend forward. Really let yourself fall onto the pillow if you're doing more restorative. If you need to fold it over a bit, that's totally fine. But walk those hands out wherever you are. And again, make sure the sits bones aren't lifting up off the ground. They should be firm onto the ground. And then wherever you hit your final resting point of the posture, dip the head and take 7 long, deep rounds of breath. This is stretching out the low back and the mid back. All of those spinalis dorsi muscles. On your next inhale, slowly start to walk the hands back in towards the body. You can keep the pillow on top of you if you'd like, but extend those legs out straight. Be gentle with your knees. They've been bent for a while. Go ahead and shake them out gently. And either stick with the pillow or not, but wherever you are, inhale the arms up straight. Straight spine. Exhale, bend it forward. You want to keep your spine as straight as possible, and as soon as you start to feel a bend, you're going to drop those hands. Maybe you come all the way down to the feet. Maybe you reach the ankle. Maybe you reach the shins. The overall point is that you want to keep your spine as straight as possible without curling it over. Maybe drop the head for the next 6 rounds of breath. On your next inhale, walk the hands back in towards the body. Remove the pillow if you've been using one. And shift your weight to one side or the other and come on to a brief tabletop. This is where if you have any knee issues, you're going to want to put a folded towel under your right knee because we're going to be coming into a low lunge on the right side. So go ahead and put the towel under the right knee if you feel you need to. You're going to come up tall like I am right now, and you're going to step the left foot forward. You want to have a 90-degree angle from your left front knee, just about, And your knee should be right above the ankle. You don't want it coming too far over that ankle. And you can go ahead and untuck the back toes if that feels good. So coming forward, you're going to, there you go, come into this lower lunge position if it's available to you. If not, maybe perch up on those fingertips and put more weight in your heel of your left foot. Or maybe even bring the hands up top of your thigh if that feels better. But believe it or not, this pose is actually really good for the back. You might not intuitively believe that, but it's the truth. It's really good in terms of the stretch, and it gets some weight off of it and into the front body. Maybe just take 3 rounds of breath here. Try not to let your head fall too much. You want to bring the gaze about a foot in front of your mat. Make sure your breath is being focused on whichever variation we discussed. You're putting that effort into. Maybe push it back. Bring the left toes towards the face as you flex the foot and sink back into the hips just for a minute. We won't do a full round of breathing here. Bring your left hand onto the inside of your left leg. Bend the left knee and swoop it around so that you're on both knees yet again. Go ahead and switch that towel under the left knee if you have any knee issues. And go ahead and step that right foot forward. Again, the back toes are untucked. The front knee makes a 90-degree angle. And then bring those hands to the ground if it's available to you. And sink forward in that right leg. Taking 3 deep, slow rounds of breath here. Coming up onto the knee if it feels better. When you're ready, push those hips back, straighten the right leg, and bring the right toes towards the face as you flex the right foot. Just stay here for a beat, so 1 breath. And on the exhale, bring the right hand to the inside of the left leg, right leg. Bend the right knee and swoop that right knee around. Find your way onto your sits bones. Extend the legs out long, almost as if you're coming into Dandasana again. Inhale the arms up, the palms face each other, round the back, and slowly start to let yourself fall back, but hold on with your abdomen, and don't let yourself lose control, not even at that very last second. And finally come on to your back. I'm going to shift so you can see me. You're going to hug the right knee into the chest and then the left knee. With your sacrum, your lower back still on the ground, pull those knees gently into your chest on the inhale. On the exhale, you're going to push those knees forward until your arms are lengthened and straightened as long as they can be. On the inhale, pull them towards you. And on the exhale, push those knees away. you'll notice that as we continue doing this round of breath work and pulling the knees in and out, your back is getting a little bit of a stretch and a massage. And also you're doing a little bit of core work as you pull those knees in. Of course, nothing as crazy as like a whole ab workout, but you are doing a little bit of core, whether you realize it or not, even with the assistance of your hands. And that's important because in order for your back to be fully relaxed and protected, continue doing these, by the way, with breath, these knee pulls and pushes as I talk. In order for your back to be fully protected, you do have to strengthen the core. So core work can really help with back issues if you do it correctly. Stay tuned, we'll be doing a core focused class as well. So let's do 3 more of these, inhaling as you pull the knees in towards the chest. Exhaling as you push them out. Inhaling, slowly pull them in. Exhaling, push them out. Inhaling, pulling them in. And exhaling as you push them out. Bring the knees back into the chest and start to do some circles clockwise. Again, maybe inhaling as you round the knees towards you and exhaling as they round away from you. So moving slowly here, don't let them go crazy. And change the direction of that circle with the knees. Notice now maybe the sides of the back are getting a bit more attention in this massage here. Beautiful. We're going to be coming into 2 twists. So if you have a pillow and you're using that, make sure that's close by. You won't need it for the first twist, but you could use it for the second if you'd like. You're going to plant the soles of the feet on the ground, place the palms on the ground. You're going to hop the hips just over to the right about 1 inch, so you're not completely in a straight line. Bring those knees into your chest, extend the arms out into a T, palms facing down, and drop the knees stacked on each other over to the left. Make sure you keep both shoulder blades on the ground. And bring your gaze over to your right, so the opposite direction of your knees. We're going to be here for 7 beautiful rounds of breath. And then we'll be doing a deeper twist after this one. So stick with me. Again, if your mind starts to wander, guide it back to your breath and literally just focus on the sensation of the air going in and out of your nose. On your next inhale, bring the gaze back to the ceiling. Maybe activate your core as you bring your knees towards the ceiling as well, planting the soles of the feet on the ground. Hop the hips over to the left about 2 inches. Now to re-uncenter them. And drop those knees over to the right, stacked on top of each other. Arms are still out in a T, palms face forward. Gaze moves towards the left. 7 deep rounds of breath here. Again, making sure to keep the shoulder blades on the ground, both of them if possible. On your next inhale, bring the gaze back to the ceiling. Bring those knees back towards the ceiling as well. Plant the soles of the feet on the ground and hop the hips back in towards center. You're going to windshield wiper those knees back and forth just a couple of times. Moving extra slow here. You don't want to whip them from side to side. This gentle windshield wipering, as long as you move slow, can also be really beneficial to the back. It really stretches out the muscles and the fascia. Bringing those knees back up towards the ceiling, straight up. The soles of the feet are planted on the ground. If you're going to use a pillow for the more restorative version of this pose, bring it to the outside of your left hip now. Palms can face down on the ground. Hop the hips over to the right, just about an inch. Extend that left leg long. Hug the right knee into the chest. I guess don't hug it, just pull it into the chest. Grab hold of it with the left palm and gently guide that right knee across your body and onto the pillow. Extend that left arm long. If you're looking for a deeper pose, you can either remove the pillow or you can do the same one we did last time, except this time cross the right knee over the left and then drop the knees over to the side. This one is almost even deeper for me than the left extended leg version. So whichever version you're going for, go ahead and hop into it. I guess I shouldn't say hop. Slowly and mindfully move into it. And we're going to be here for another 7 breaths. So if your right knee is coming across your body and coming onto the outside of your left leg, bring your gaze over your right fingertips for 7 rounds of breath. Bringing the gaze back up to the ceiling. Bring the right sole of the foot onto the ground, and then the left, hopping those hips 2 inches over to the left. So they're still off center now, just over to the left this time. If you are going to use the pillow, bring it to the outside of the right hip. Palms are facing down. Extend the right leg straight down onto the mat. Bring the left knee in towards the chest. Use the right hand to guide that left knee across your body and onto the pillow on the outside of your right hip. Either leave the hand there, bring it back to a T, and look over your left fingertips. Then you go ahead, and as we start to wind the class down, bring your eyes closed for the next 7 rounds of breath.
Don't forget to continue either lengthening your inhales if you want some more energy, or lengthening the exhales as you begin to wind down for the night. If your eyes are closed, blink them open. Bring the gaze back towards the ceiling. Bring the left sole of the foot to the ground. Bring the right sole of the foot to the ground and hop the hips back to center. You can go ahead and move that pillow out to the side. You won't be needing it for another couple of minutes. Go ahead and bring those knees in towards the chest again. Flex the feet and extend the feet up towards the ceiling. Knees are still bent. Make sure you're keeping the sacrum, the low back, on the mat. If you can reach the outsides of the feet, go ahead and grab for them. If this is too deep of a stretch for before bed or whenever you're doing this, just grab behind the knees. You can also grab the ankles. Do just whatever feels the best for you today or tonight. While you're here, you want to be mindful that your sacrum, your low back, is still moving towards the mat. So you're not lifting it up off the ground. It should be flat. Play with maybe gently and slowly rocking from the right all the way over the spine into the left. We usually do Happy Baby pretty quickly because it's easy to rock fast. But why don't you try to slow it down a little bit, especially if you're doing this as a nighttime relaxation. Whenever you're done, ready to be winding down the class, bring the knees together, hug them into the chest, and draw the forehead in towards the knees. Give yourself a nice hug, and then slowly start to let everything go. Even if you're moving on with the rest of your day, extend your legs straight. Let your feet fall away from each other. If you had that pillow that you were using earlier and you want to feel more at rest for this Shavasana, go ahead and put the pillow under the knees. If you do have back pain, sometimes what happens in Shavasana is it starts to enliven. You might have too much of an arch in your back. It doesn't mean you should necessarily put something under your back, but try tilting your pelvis so that your hip points come closer to you. So feel your hip points, and if you have back pain and there's an arch in your back, they might be facing more like diagonally up. Try to get those hip points closer towards your face, like tilt them up towards your face. That takes the arch out of the back, and in Shavasana, even people who don't normally have back issues sometimes feel back pain, myself included. And undoing this pelvic tilt can help with that. Wherever you are, have the palms face the ceiling. Let the knees fall apart. Start to let go of any tension anywhere in the body. Let the jaw fall away from the roof of the mouth. Maybe that means it falls a little bit further back towards the throat. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Relax the gentle skin underneath the eyes. Release any tension in the space between the eyebrows and in the forehead. Completely be at peace and relaxed. Don't put any more focus on the breathing. And I recommend staying here in Shavasana for the next 10 minutes, whether or not you're winding down for the night or not. I always recommend doing a minimum of a 10-minute Shavasana.
I know that I have a couple students that I usually teach who have back pain regularly. So I really hope you can watch this video and that it helps regularly. Thanks so much for watching the class, and stay tuned for some more. Enjoy your Shavasana if you're staying in it. Have a restful sleep if you're moving in that direction, or have a great rest of your day.